Well, hello everybody. It's Brother Todd with your Victory Minute, and I hope you guys and gals out there all having a great day. As I'm making this video, it's coming on lunchtime on Monday. And Monday is about the busiest day I got during the week, typically at the church. Typically meetings and situations and working on goals and reports and all that all day long. But as you can tell, I'm standing out in the middle of some of the cows that we got. In fact, there's a big lot of them just standing right over there. And the reason I'm out here today is I'm having to kind of fix a little problem I created. And the problem I created falls in line with a mistake that we can make in our prayer life that I want to talk to you about. Maybe keep you from making the same mistake I made. Now, this wasn't a big costly thing, but the principle of it is still there. What I got caught doing was praying for one thing and expecting something else. I was praying for rain. We planted some Sudan here right in the middle of July. I had to replant, and you know, rain don't usually fall around here in July and August, and I was just kind of gambling that it would grow. We just needed to have something happen, and just praying, Lord, you know, I could use some rain. And at the same time, I'm driving around with 2 bags of feed, cattle feed, in the back of my truck. And if you ain't from the country, let's just know this: sacks of feed and rain don't mix well together. So it rained on it all last night, and so I had to run out here today to feed it before it went bad. But the principle that I'm talking about is what I really want you to catch on. You can find yourself in the mental discipline or even the religious discipline of praying. You know that God can, you know that God does, you know that God answers your prayers, but at the same time, you're not really expecting Him to answer your prayer. If I'd really been expecting to get rain in August, I wouldn't have had those sacks of feed in the back of my truck. I was talking to God about one thing, but I was really expecting Him to do something else. And guys, here's a principle. Prayer without faith is just an exercise. Prayer, and catch this, without actively believing God. And listen, when you're actively believing God, you'll confess a thing that's not there as though it was. You will make preparations for a thing. Had a woman I knew years and years and years ago, knew God wanted her on the mission field, prayed about going into Latin America and being a missionary. Some doors closed. She couldn't kind of go the traditional way. And you know what that woman never did? She never learned Spanish. She never learned Spanish. She said, oh, if I get to go, then they'll make a way for me. She never put foot to her prayer. She never actively believed God. It is an easy trap to fall into. You're praying for a child, a wayward child, to come back, but you're not making any provision for them to be back. You've got that, maybe they're an addict. You're not making any provision to help them, whether it's in rehab or help them in a program. It's like all of a sudden God answers our prayers and it catches us by surprise. I was driving over here and I thought, boy, I just like that group there when Peter was in jail, and they were praying for Peter to be released. In fact, the Bible says they were praying earnestly in great unity for Peter to be released. And God worked through the supernaturally and set him free from the jail. And if you know the story, he showed up at the house where they were praying. They wouldn't let him in. They wouldn't let him in. The girl ran in there and told him, said, Peter's out here. And you know the story. The story says they thought it was Peter's ghost. Christians that knew Jesus rose from the grave were actively praying for Peter to be set free, but they were more willing to believe that they had already killed Peter and that his ghost had showed up rather than the fact that God had answered their prayers. Ain't that something? Isn't that something? That's just us, isn't it? And you have to watch yourself and you have to catch yourself. So I'm just going to ask you this. If there's something you're actively praying for, are you actively believing it enough to prepare for it or to do something about it so that your actions line up with your words? Well, I got to leave these cows. I got to get back to that office. I got to get something done. But before I do, I don't know if I can veer this thing over there or not. I'll show you some of the prettiest calves you ever seen in your life. That little red number 3, she's a darling. She's a darling. Well, anyway, hey, have a great day. Bye-bye.